Hmm. All right, all right, all right. So let's look at the scans first. Starting from the higher floats. Um, Everything seems to be down right now. Apple, NIO, and Bobble are getting the most volume. Then we move up to the mid floats. Target took a 24% drop there. So it closed yesterday at 215, and its earnings came out, and now it's all the way past this previous bottom here. So it'll be down here somewhere. 160s. Nice little drop on Target. It's getting the most volume in the mid float range of 3 million shares. Then we have the low floats. Veru still getting some attention with 1 million shares out there. Everything else is gonna have to do some work. Don't really see much there. And to the things under $5, we see Agri got up to 322. I did sell my position yesterday in the green. Took my profits because it was acting really weird. Let me show you guys what I was looking at on Agri. Jump over here to Street Smart Edge. So yesterday afternoon, this thing played around 250, and I sold a little bit here at the 268, and then it came back down. I sold a little bit at this top at the 250s, sold that there at the 269. I had 200 shares, so I was just getting rid of it little by little, and then into the close, I sold the rest of it, and it just started to pedal around here, but it jumped from that 250 up to 320s. But the thing that is really weird about this thing, it likes to move in aftermarket and like going right into aftermarket. That's when it likes to do crazy things. But this thing in pre-market is really acting up. So we'll have to keep our eyes on it. It's 319 right now. May have to wait for a better dip now that it's up and it's kind of breaking upward now. It's at the top of what would be a channel here. Let me draw this channel. So looks like it's following a little bit of an uptrend here on this channel. It's a big old channel. Had a lot of problems around here, around this 250 level. So I was like, ooh, this thing may go back down to, it's only got 50 cents to go back down to $2. So I went ahead and took my profit. But that would have been a nice little $200 there. But that's hindsight trading, so whatever. Came out nice and green. Back over to TOS and the scans. The other things that are up in the under $5 low floats, don't really see much. PIK, what is this one? Up 14%. Kid Pick shares trading lower. They had worse than expected Q1 sales results reported on yesterday, but they're up 14%. Okay. Right at that $2 level, I don't know if I'm gonna mess with that one. Very low volume. They're gonna have to get some more volume and challenge AGRI. Also, I sold my INDO play yesterday. Remember, I said if that thing drops, if oil dropped to 14, I said 14, but then I mean 114, but I moved it up to 114.50, and as soon as it broke that 114.50, I sold. So yeah, it's at 111 now. So took that profit off the board, about $60. I was looking for it to continue higher through the 115, but couldn't do it. So that's not my first time playing INDO. I'll play it again in the future on a good little dip. And I forgot to have to get this thing set up. But I am still holding my LTBR play, the uranium play. And like I said yesterday, there's an inverse in oil and the SPY. So oil is dropping, but the SPY, regained some strength over that 400. So it was kind of like one of those things like, do I really want to play against this inverse and hope that it doesn't, take my shoes? All right, so AGR is definitely on the watch. Let's see. PIK already back down to $2. It's about to break down. It's not going to hold this scanner. BWV pretty much lost all of the volume that was in it as well. Veru still punching up only 19% today. Magna chip semiconductor shares trading higher after Korea's Economic Daily reported LX to join with Carlyle in roughly 1.18 or 1.18 billion bid for MAGA chip semiconductor. Let's also look through some of this news as well. Nvidia earnings aren't due for a week. Why this analyst is worried. Top 15 trending stocks. Okay, so they're maintaining lowers the price target to 280. Okay, that's not relevant news for today. Walmart continued to drop off the map. It will be opening up at the 128s. It closed yesterday at 131.35. Came down here to this previous level. I don't even know if this is support for it. Those earnings definitely killed it. Let's see, TJX. Apple. AirPods ruptured a child's eardrums. Lawsuit filed against Apple alleges. Their AirPods blew somebody's ears out. What? Why was he listening to him that loud? AMD, Wall Street's bets. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of a, not really a slower market, but definitely a selling day for all of this uptrending. Good morning, Donnell. Just looking through, making the watch list. AGRI acting up. Man. It's acting up. I took my profits off of AGRI. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to just chill on it. I bought 200 shares back at 250, but that thing was just so choppy, and I was just taking profit. I'd rather take profit and be okay in the green than give it all back on a big dump. But it's up 15%, moving in the pre-market, so it's going to be very hard for it to hold those levels today. If you're going to trade that one, I would definitely wait to see where that that dip is going to go. Is that dip going to crack back under the 275s or what? But at this point, it's probably going to be a red day for it on AGR. Where is that bottom going to be? We see RDBX. No volume though. We do have some relatively low floats though. ELTK, PPSI, PIK. That one hasn't been moving in for a while. It's at $2, up 11%. So I definitely put those on the watch as well. PIK, just to see if they can start getting some volume. PPSI. And also start getting green on the day. And ELTK. So those are some super low floats there. BWV, I don't know about this one. This one's just I don't like this one. It pops and drops, but I don't know. Not much. I'll watch it. I'll put it on watch to see what it does out of the open, but that's about it. I don't know about trading that one. CYN going on down there as well. Got a nice little mapped out trend line. So as it gets cheaper, it's looking better and better for that trend breakout one day, but definitely not 2-day. Let's see, might have maybe a week or something to figure out what it wants to do with this trend. If it doesn't absolutely get down here all the way to the 169, that would be horrible. Then I wouldn't expect it to break out too big. But that's on the watch for maybe a swing trade later on, waiting for that thing to come on down back into this range of maybe the $2-ish area to see how it holds the 2. Yeah, Donnell, small caps are looking kind of weak today. The biggest mover is something that isn't even going to move anymore. It's up 30%, but this thing is not one of those that'll, I mean, it's low float, but it just doesn't have the volume to kick it up. We have to watch it throughout the day to see what it wants to do. RDBX is well away from that 200 moving average. Got pushed all the way down here to the 320s. And then tried to lunge back up. So I think the sellers are on top of RDBX. Good morning, SB. We're out here analyzing this nice seller market. Look at this trap here. When do we ever see days that are so green like this? Man, the whole market's about to go red. The whole thing. Appreciate that, SB. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Let's see. Just revving the engine, LOL. Yeah. I was watching AGR this morning, but it's giving back and coming on back into this range. If it cracks back into that 250 to 230 range, it may be showing quite a bit of weakness and may have to consolidate for a while in that range to eat up all of that those orders in there. Good morning, GD. Good morning, One Life. Yeah, so AGR giving back, coming on back down there. Looking for this thing to go red really quickly today. It's only up 13%. A lot of shares traded. I forget the float on this one. It's low though. So it should be about through one rotation of its float. Let me see, what is this float? AGR. Float is 10.93 million. So it's got 4 million to go through its float once. And it's already done that in pre-market and forming a nice topping tail here on the 4-hour chart. The 9 EMA is right there at the 267. So we'll see if it can hold up that 260 level. If it starts breaking the 260 and breaks back down to 250, it's over with. Let's see what else. Again, I'm keeping these on watch, these little low floats, just in case. Maybe they'll be the only thing moving up. PIK. BWV is also a low float, but these are on low volume, so you got to be very careful with these. And also, there's no real news, and PIK's daily chart doesn't look too great either. So, got to be careful with them. Yeah, I've already added these over there on Street Smart Edge to the watch. Veru still trying to get up to 1630s. Has a little flat top there looking like the 1650 that may give it some problems today. Acre, BWAC. What is BWAC? Better World Acquisition. That daily chart looks trash. You get in that, boy, you gotta hold that to you. You gotta hold that for 20 years. People that bought at 998, boy, they're doing good today at 1026. Okay, DPSI was another one of those trash looking stocks. Gave back a lot of profits. Jumped up here to the 12 during pre-market. Got pushed all the way back down to the 615. It has a history of giving back. So if you're going to trade that one, be careful. It's up 30% on low volume and it's a very low float, but not looking too great. And then, of course, you guys probably already heard about Target. Target got hit with some really bad earnings and is down almost 30% on the day. So that may be a play for you on options or going short. Definitely a lot of short bias on it though. May have a little bit of a pop with that big drop though, from 215 down to 161. That is amazing for a big company like that. What is DOCS? DOCS Docs down 14%. Why are you down 14%? Doximity shares are trading lower after company issued Q1 sales guidance below analyst estimates. So they got a little bit of bad, or they didn't make the estimates, basically. Doesn't mean that they're doing bad. BART adjusts their price to 45 from 68. Yeah, so I don't know about that one, but it is down 13%. And the scariest part about today is that this market watch, everything's green, and we're gonna come back in about 7 minutes, and everything right here is gonna be red. We're gonna see it die. All right, let's jump over here to Street Smart Edge. INDO, man. Oil could not keep INDO up. Waiting for another nice dip on oil for another entry. And oil is now going towards the 110s again, getting back under the 110s. So definitely glad I went ahead and sold that. I think this one's going to have a nice little dip here at the open because of oil. When this thing closed, oil was still at 113-ish, 113.50. So the open with oil being at 110 is going to definitely be a lot of short sentiment there. There may be some fools that buy it though, but I think they'll get taken out by the shorts. AGR struggling around that $3 level, so I'm expecting that thing to fall as well. You can look on the hour chart here, how much it's giving back. Good morning, Gary. DPSI. PIK. Needs to get some more volume there, but I want to see who's going to stand up on the day out of all of these low floats. PIK is slipping slowly towards the getting that volume in there little by little, but we'll have to watch it and be patient. Want to buy a dip, but we want to buy a dip where people want it, not where it just dips to and then there's no volume. Oh, INDO cracking on down there. It probably will break 17 very easily. So I'll be looking for another entry around that $15, $14 to do it again. Do it all over. Look for some news to come out on it. Get it done. DPSI. BWV. Got about 4 minutes of just about 3 minutes to the bell. Flip over to the scans one more time. So we see NIO in the high flow section, NIO, AMD, Johnson & Johnson, BABA, Apple, all getting a little bit of attention. NIO, China is in talks with EV manufacturers to extend EV subsidies beyond 2020. That's a Chinese company. AMD, U.S. stock futures slip a day after market bounce. Target sinks. Okay, we already know that. Market watch. AMD stock shoots higher after upgrade. Buy good companies when they're down. Yeah, they say that. And then they continue going down. Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, One Life. I sold my position on INDO. And whatchamacallit, Agri. On AGRI, it was in here and I was taking profit on these tops. I took my first profit here at the 268 and then it came down and I sold a little bit more once it came back to this top here of the 260. And then it had a little bit of indecision, so I sold a little bit in the indecision, and then I sold the rest at this 272, and then it came on down here. So I did not expect it to pop all the way up here, but it's not holding those values, so it's whatever. I took my profit. I just did not want it to come down here and end up coming down through that 250 level where it was struggling all day long at 250. But INDO, yeah, it's cracking down that 1708. And we'll see if it can hold up these levels around that 1593. I'm willing to take another position on it. If oil doesn't crack through, well, it's going down to the 110s right now. So if it cracks the 110s, I just have to wait a little bit for INDO to dip some more. And then look for another entry. What's up, Lori? So the only thing I'm currently holding is my LTBR, which is that uranium play. And it has come back up quite a bit. Came down to the $5, which I added down here, $4. And then it held here at the 575, which I added. and then it's back up to the 665s now, and I'm looking for a dip to come back down somewhere in here to add some more. But if it wants to go, oh well. I've been watching it on this little uptrend. It regained the uptrend. I just want to see it hold these levels. The bottom was that 460, and it looks okay. Yeah, One Life, I just heard your voice when you said don't let something go red on you. And I was like, man, I'm up in the profit. I had 200 shares, so I was up like maybe 30, 40 bucks. And I was just taking little bits, because I was like, I'm not about to let this thing kill me. All right, but now the markets are open. And INDO, everything's kind of just taking a little break here. Everything's going red. We see, hey, look at this. We see the red entering. It's starting. Okay, everything red right now. So, looks juicy. DPSI going green on the day. So, we'll see who wants to be strong on the day. This is a little low float, but we'll watch it. INDO up just a little bit, but with oil going down, this thing's going to take a absolute dump back into this position down here. 16 bucks. DSPI is going to be our number one mover. Look at that thing shooting up there. 16.14, and it's into a halt at the 677. So we'll definitely keep that one on watch. Very low volume though, 270,000 shares traded. So be very careful on that. Good morning, Daniel B. Looking at the scans, pick is also moving. Which direction is it moving? Downward. Okay. So we'll see what holds up green on the day here. AGRI is on our watch. Pick, RDBX. PPSI. Who's going to be the stand-up person or stock? We got 3 in the green there. Well, INDO is coming down, but DPSI and PPSI. Target getting a little bounce up off of those previous levels, but after that fall, man, the momentum is downward on that thing. It did bounce back up to the 166 on target, but we're going to be focusing in on these small caps real quick. PSI, MX. Veru's probably going to lose out to some of these smaller movers. On the daily chart, Veru looking very, very bearish, going red on the day. But after this big buy up, you never know. But since today is red, you know, stay away. Only up 1% as well. All right, so PIK still green on the day, pulling red to or green to red moves very quickly. INDO's a little shifty. PPSI. What time is this bad boy supposed to open up? Let's see. Trade halts. DPSI. Volatility halted at the 9:31.26, so it should be opening up at the 9 936.26. 936.26. So we shall see. AGRI doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. Fail. Coming back into that range. If it breaks down that 250, it's not going to be looking good. Has a it was an intraday uptrend. It has this uptrend all the way back here that's right at the $2 right now, but had this little semi uptrend that it had. So I think it's going to end up failing all of that. Looks like we only got one. Look at INDO dumping. Told y'all that thing was going to go down, man. Oil, it just follows oil. PPSI still trying to hold green just a little bit. So we only have one thing that we're watching that's still green, and it's in a halt. $36. RDBX. Where are you? RDBX. RDBX is also green today. Seeing the SPY come back green. Veru is trying to make its way up. A lot of wicks. Getting some pops there. DPSI is going to be opening up here soon. So let's see how these work out. Okay. Not opening up quite yet. Did I calculate correctly? DPSI 3626. Should have been it. 3626. Okay, well, it's going to be a longer halt on that one. RDBX, though, is up. PIK. Seeing a lot of things try to hold green today. So where are these high of days? Coming up to this little flat area right here of the 240. Trying to get a push there. RDBX got its high of day up here at the 425s. INDO dying slowly. BWV. So, okay. All right. Let's keep our eyes and our head on the swivel. Eyes open. Target about to break down the 160s. Looking like it's going down even more on that momentum. Popped up very briefly to the 166 and lost $5 just that quickly. Veru, where you at? Veru red on the day as well. Still not seeing that volume pour into any of these that want to be obvious. Hustle, CYN. Okay, yeah. So RDBX pick throwing a high of day up there to the 250. We'll watch that. Watch for trends. RDBX is only up 5%, so it may have to be a grinder today. So you want to buy low on these ones that aren't that volatile. Pick trying to hold up that 240. Agri coming back up to the $3 level. Still waiting for more fell off there. High of day was the 307. Got up to the 335 during pre-market. Still no unhalting here. Let's see, what was that? Should have been the 41.26 should be on DPSI. 41.26 should be unhalting. There'll be a 10-minute halt. RDBX giving up his soul. Pick still going sideways there. Hasn't made a decision. Who wants to stand up though? PPSI not in a huge uptrend. It's going to have to start an uptrend to even look interesting. X. Pick, agree. Nothing else receiving any kind of volume in the low float range. Veru has dipped down, going even more red. Oh wow, DPSI opened up very quickly. Not getting any trading time in there, just kind of opening up, going into the next halt. So I would definitely be very careful to wait for some actual trading on this one. It went into a 10-minute halt. We'll see what happens after this. It's up 80%. Very low float. So even if you buy high, it can come down very quickly. So I would definitely wait for some trading to see where people want it. RDBX coming on down off of that high of day there of the 425. Can't exactly map out a trend yet. A little bit too steep there. PIK at a double top at the 250s. I know people want to trade PIK, but I guarantee people are holding off because they see DPSI. And they're trying to go and do research about DPSI. So I don't know if PIK is going to be able to get it, because DPSI has a way bigger range and is up way bigger from the open. It has less of a chance to go red on the day. There's a little bounce, and then it's going to get shorted straight on down, back under that 250. High of day was the 257. Let's get back under that 250. Back here. PIK. RDBX. Pull back up here a little bit off the 388s, but again, it's got a lot of work to do to compete with DPSI. I know eyes are on it. Let's see what time it's going to be halting here. DPSI 942, 942.02, so it should be opening up at 947.02. So in 2 minutes. And that's why I'm not sure about these other ones. I think they're going to get absolutely murdered. Pick making a high of day there of the 262. Will it give up the ghost? Looking for those obvious trend setups. It hasn't set up one just yet. RDBX. Woo, getting on back under that $4 quickly. Agri still playing around that $3 level as well. DPSI already opened up back in. Whoa. Wow. What's going on with this thing? Is that back into a halt or what? Very low volume here on this move down into this body. Maybe halted. No, it can't. Well, yes, it's halted down. So, yeah. So now people may be more interested than some of these that were moving up at first, like PIK, RDBX. We have to see that big one fail, though. RDBX down here in this dip around $4. You could use $4 as a backstop. Let me see what kind of news was on RDBX. I don't think it was any kind of. I think it's a continuation stock, but looking at the daily chart, it has a lot of work to do here. It got pushed down from the 614s down to the 321s. It did make its way a little bit back into this selling pressure, but I don't think it can overcome all of this selling pressure here. PPSI doing its thing. AGR still hanging out around that 303 level. Made a new high, but is very flat right now. Isn't really taking off. Had a lot of problems at the 250 yesterday, so I know people are kind of wary of it. PIK. On the daily chart here at PIK, let's look at that. Came down here to the 150s, up here to the 264s, well below the 200 moving average. If we look back here on the yearly chart, we saw it was up at 28 bucks at one point, but now all the way down to $2. So not. Let's see. A filing shows a 67.5% stake in Kid Pick by Ezra Daba. I guess he's. Let me read what he is. Ezra Daba. I don't know who that person is. I don't know why he has the stock moving, but I really don't care. He's one person, so doesn't really matter. RDBX. BWV. Ted said, remember I called and said get BBIG 20 calls. Let me see what BBIG is doing. BBIG. Yeah, it's getting on up there. Definitely getting on up there. You are very patient. Very patient for BBIG. Okay, PIK came down to this level. Still cannot see a valid trend line yet. RDBX making its way on down. It may pull a green to red move at some point today. PPSI trying to hold up as well. We still don't know where the high of day is. It came up here to this 350 level. We'll see how that holds. Very low volume still. DPSI should be opening up here in a little bit. DPSI 47.21, so it should be opening up at the 52.21. 52.21. Can it start getting some regular trading? Okay, so this one, RDBX, at least we can see a little bit of a trend possibly setting up there on the 5. And then out here on the 15 as well. AGR still playing around. I guess they'll use the $3 as a backstop, but with the way this thing plays around levels, I would not buy the first break on this one. It's probably going to come back to $3 here soon. All right, BWV. So this one should be opening up here soon as well. DPSI. Or is this another 10-minute halt? $47.21. Well, it might be another 10-minute halt on that one. Getting scary on DPSI. Gonna have to get some real trading in there. Veru took quite a little bit of a dip there. From the 16s down to the 1480s. Quite red on the day. ELTK, still red on the day. The SPY is down at the 402s. Let's see what oil is doing then. Oil broke down the 110s. So glad I got out of INDO when I did. BWV. Coming on back down. Did not hold up that $5 was the break. That high on BWV broke through it a little bit, came back and crashed right back through it. So nobody there to catch the knife. Ted says $3 and $5 calls for ATER, but now 5 calls are too risky because market is too weak. Yeah, S&P is taking a nosedive. Let me look at this. Oh yeah, look at that, going on down to that 400 level. Only problem with this is I wish oil would have stayed up and just went ahead and broke the 115. Now the SPY is coming down. They are inverses, but it takes them a while to kind of correlate. So let's see what oil's looking like over here. Oil broke down from this level. This is where I sold at as soon as this thing broke the 1450 here, I sold. And now look at it. Because after this extension, we can see multiple extensions here. And I was like, this extension looks just like these other ones. Reached the top, found indecision up here, and I was like, this may be a pivot point. So I went ahead and jumped. But anyway, Veru diving on down, almost down 10% now. Let's actually see what this. Oh wow, did not call this. Look at the market watch now. Remember when we started, I was like, watch all this green turn to bloody waters. Bloody waters. I told y'all today was more of a selling day anyway. We had a lot of upward movement yesterday. BWV coming on down. Pick coming on down. So DPSI into a 10-minute halt. So it should be opening up at the 56.21. DPSI. Crazy thing is it can't get any trading because it's always in a halt. So people's eyes are going elsewhere. DPSI came out of there making a high of day at the 366. Pick getting a little hammered, has a top here of the 232s that may be support, but with the way it's getting hammered, I would like to see it get tested. Still green on the day though. AGRI continue to come up to this $3 and fail. $3 and fail. Just like yesterday when it was at the 250. A bunch of failure before it actually made a move. But now it's already cracked the top and failed this top. The previous top was the 305 and it's already under it and continue to fail under it. So shorts are probably going to be trying to take positions here down to this 263 is where the trend seems to be. So this one did open up. DPSI did open up low here. May get some trading. Want to see it get up to 1 million shares traded. Looks like the first candle was 45,000 traded, then 81, then 200 and something down here. So it's getting actual trading. Let's see what it wants to do. Can we see a obvious trend set up is the question. BWV coming back up to trying to sit right under the 5s there, but finding resistance even below the 5s, going back red on the day. Pick one of these two is going to stand up. I don't know which one though. Pick looking real weak right there. ELTK never did come back green on the day. Very low volume overall. So that one got left in the dust. INDO. Go ahead and remove that one. AGRI continue to hold this $3 level. Very flat though. Looking for an actual trend there. BWV popped up to this 510 level, popping just briefly through the 5 for 10 cents. DPSI tried to come up a little bit. We have a top here of the 861. It is kind of steep to draw a trend, but let's just see what this one looks like on the 5-minute. And then, yeah, it's steep. It's definitely steep. 863. Yeah, that's too steep. Can't play that. But that one's going on down. AGRI, another failure here to break this 309 level. Struggling at that 305, which it was the previous top back here on the charts. Right here, 305. That's where you're struggling. RDBX out of the competition for now. May come back later on in the day, but for now, that's dead. All right, 725s getting on down there on this one, DPSI. Gave back plenty of profits off the top from the 866 down to the $7, pushing down into the body of this candle. So it's got a lot of trading to do to even, it's just now hitting 1 million shares traded. It had 1 million and I think 0.5 in the float. So it cycled through its float once. But yeah, still green on the day though. So may not be completely over. BWV popping those highs, 509 up to the 5. Oh my God, it didn't even break out a cent. Come on now. That's insane. Come on, BWV, you better than this. What you doing? You didn't even break out a cent. It said 0.099. All right, PPSI still not getting enough volume to compete. Pick. Agri fell in that 305 again. $7 right there is the whole point. Now it's coming down to this 683 level. 683 was that previous level that it came up to from the high, but needs more volume. BWV barely holding and taking a long time up here and running out of volume. So we see the biggest green candle was 100,000 shares, and it's just been falling off since then. So not a lot of interest up there. PPSI. Let's look back at the scans as well. Ted says, no, GD. I haven't used Street Smart Edge scanners in a long time. I only use these over here on my other screen, which is my TOS scanners. But this thing over here is basically just a watch list. So I just type in whatever tickers that I'm looking for, and then, I can just watch them. But the scans, I use TOS. The reason why is because TOS is, so I realized that some of the tickers don't show up on Street Smart Edge. Street Smart Edge's scanner. So I was like, am I missing something? What's wrong? So I messed around with the scan criteria, but it wasn't it wasn't my setup. It was just their spread of tickers. So I just use TOS because the tickers are on Street Smart Edge. They just need to be on the scanner so I know about them. And the other reason I stopped using it was for screen space. I had my news on here at one time. I had my scanner, and then I had a watch list, and it was just taking up way too much space. So when I got this second screen, I was like, man, I'm not even gonna use any of this. I'm gonna do all of my research with TOS and then enter my trades with Street Smart Edge. Street Smart Edge does have better feels. I've seen over the I've been using it for what, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Has better feels and less lags than TOS. So I was like, I use them for entries. But I use both to get the full view of everything. Let's see, DPSI down to $6 now, giving back a whole lot right there to this, right below this 681, which is interesting. Very interesting there. Let's see how far it pushes down. Still green on the day. Agri again trying to come up and face this 309 level. Continues to get punched in the mouth there. Going sideways too long for me. It's going to have to get going upwards. Pick did fall off and is red on the day. BWV, after that 1 cent breakout, people got scared. So they did not want to play that game, especially on low volume. Very dangerous game there. Agri, another knee to the gut. Bouncing down there again to the indecision level of the 303. Cannot seem to hold up that 305 just yet. Keeps touching it, but not yet. All right, DPSI down here at the 686s. Need to see a little bit of consolidation. The bottom of this candle was the $6. BWV holding right up there against this indecision. We'll see if the shorts start to get a little confident now that they got this indecision, but this is on the 5-minute. The 15-minute has a huge buying up candle that they'll have to push back against if they want to. Well, popping out there, throwing a wick up there for a new high at the 515s. I was about to say they have a lot of buying pressure to push back against, but you know, that was a nice little pop, 5 cent pop up there, but that was so quick. That was bot movement. No way you could have took profit on that. Now it's giving you a chance to take profit, but at this point it's a little bit poppy and dangerous. Still a low float. Still low volume. Pick continuing down. AGR threw a little, did the same move out there, had a little pop and drop. Let's look at the SPY real quick. Still on a downwards move. Coming back to that 400. But now that I'm seeing oil come down, I'm expecting the SPY to start to bounce. I don't know if it's going to be today or when, but they usually, when oil starts cracking down, SPY gives some kind of movement back up. So I'll definitely be expecting that in the next couple of days, back over the 400s. BWV threw another little 2 cents out there. Very small little punches up. But it is green on the day. DPSI. Previous level 779, 888, 60s. Just not an obvious trend setup. If it pops, it'll just go without me. I want something obvious. I don't want to get caught up. AGR closing down, looking like it's ready to finally fall through the threes here. After this little pop up, I know the shorts are loving this little setup. The hour chart just needs to crack down the 298 to be red on the day. So, I mean, their risk is so small here. Back to the upside, but you never know. On days like this, crazy things happen. DPSI coming back over 7, but still needs a little bit of consolidation. PPSI. $63, $67, so 4-cent moves there. This one's moving out about 2 to 3 cents per breakout, but it's just a little grinder. This 513 level, this indecision here, may be a nice little key breakdown point of the 513 on that one. If it can get momentum going downwards again. DPSI popping back up there to the 760s. Can we now see a little bit of a trend here? Got the tops 868. Trend line we'll put right across here. And we'll see if that becomes a valid trend line or not. Gotta wait for this candle to finish first to place it. Yeah, are you done? Nope, want to come up a little bit more to the 90s. Okay, let's see where you're gonna drop. Where's your drop point, buddy? Okay. Oh, you got some more in you? Okay, dropping down a little bit there. If I need to adjust it, I'm waiting for this candle to close. It's got 3 minutes left on it. We'll see if it can close down lower and continue this trend. So now we have a high of day. We have a test of this trend, and we'll see what it wants to do after this. Currently, where it came down to was a 677 and popped up there $2, but that's okay. We'll continue watching it. Still nice and green on the day. Wow, throwing a wick straight through there. Continuing to have to adjust here. Wow, that is a short squeeze if I ever seen one. Okay, came all the way up here, so now it's got a lot of buying pressure under it. So let's see some consolidation. Okay, well, never mind. We're all the way back up to the top here. Just about. Top was the 864. Let's see if we'll get a touch and a big rejection. Looks like it's into a halt. Or nope, fake halt. Can we get those 60s out there, or is it ready to pull back? There it is. Okay, so new high of day. We got to start the process over then. BWV grinding on up. So that was not obvious. That definitely probably hurt some shorts. But yeah, I'm gonna just wait until a good dip where it's an obvious setup. If I don't see an obvious setup, I'm just gonna stay away. Stay away. All right, so AGR is going on down there. PIK, are you still going down as well? You are. So yeah, DPSI is the only thing really giving those moves today, up 83%. But remember, it gives back profits every single time. If we look over here on the daily chart, look at this. Big give back, big give back. So you got to be quick on this one. It's very, very sporadic and very, very irrational. The news on this one didn't really have much news. It's just a super low float of 1 point something million. Decision point systems. Let's see. Let's see. Decision point shares gain Q1 beats. Sees broad-based strength across verticals. Yeah, so there's some strength somewhere in it, but I want obvious. I wanted to hold up these levels. It has moved quite a bit from the six to the eight, but of course there's always more obvious opportunities in the market. We still are seeing a nice little bloody market watch. So just be careful. But it seems like all eyes should be coming over here to DPSI soon once these other ones just kind of give up on the day. Veru, nice and red. UPST. I mean, it's not really a play that we usually mess with. FMGU, Acre. Some of these are going to have to just absolutely fall off the map. Walmart continuing to crash. Wow, Walmart still going gapping down there. 130 down to the 125s, continuously losing itself. Ford, Nvidia, Apple, AMD, Docs. Okay. I see A Firm, Plug. Okay. 14%. All right. Oil is back up to the 110s. CYN was one of the stocks we were watching for a while. Oh wow, never mind. DPSI opening up there. Let's go over here. Opening up there. Let's see what it wants to do here. It made a high of day, so we want to see an obvious trend set up here. That's it. Seeing a little bit of resistance form here. Previous high of day was the 865. Has an intraday uptrend here at the 590. So it's got room to come down quite a bit. Let's see where the bottom was though. Where would this be? Very bottom. Had a support at like the 362s. And this is the first day that it's popping up, so it's definitely going to be the most risky day. So we want to see those obvious setups and see if we can find some pivots or some kind of trend to make us money. High of day was a 946, coming on back down through there. BWV didn't go too much higher than that $5. Only needs to break down 15 cents to get back across the $5. DPSI exploding through that 925. Just ridiculous movement on low volume. We're seeing this one got 1 million shares, and then this one's falling below 1 million a little bit. Took a huge dip down to the $8, back up to the 9. So that's a dollar transition there in seconds. From that 815, 810 up to the 965. And then giving back 75 cents that quick. Almost, well, it was up 100%. It's up 97%. Just kind of floating around this area, but I would like to see another confirmed dip and hold. Yeah, this one, you buy high on this one, you may lose a dollar. One, like I say, everyone loves a good gamble. Yeah, you buy high on this one, you may lose $1.50 in a second. IP or PIK pick coming down there and sitting on the twos. AGRI coming back down to the 285s. Looking for it to get back under that 250 level. All right. Docs, Twitter. So it's cycled through its float 4 times already, almost 5 times. So it's heavily traded. Knocking through. See, that was a very weak break. If this thing's been making these huge moves, that was weak right there. 980 up to the 10. That's only 20 cents. This thing's about to crash. That was weak. Weak. You need to get back in the gym. Coming into indecision on the 5-minute, maybe a 5-minute pivot area. We'll have to see though, because the 15-minute still looks kind of strong, but this pivot on the lower time frame just needs to transition its strength up to the higher time frames. We haven't seen that yet, but that was a weak break. 20-cent breakout. This thing moved from 6 up to 8, $2 break, and then from 873 up here to 923, and then a pop from the 8s all the way up to the 982, and then you get a 20-cent break. We're about to see a pivot back down, baby. Come on down. Wow. Shorts getting killed on that little pop there. Somebody took some entries above 1050. That's insanity. They don't even care about technical analysis on this one. So I think One Life's a little bit right on this one. This one's one of those gambles. You just, make your way, man. That's insane. Popping up there. When are those shorts going to actually take control? They're having a hard time. Almost 1 million shares traded on this candle as well. Last candle got almost 2 million. So that's tough. That's tough right there. Definitely looking like a pivot area. If I was shorting, I would have got blown out. And I guess that's the mental gymnastics with this kind of play, being pushed like this and being such a low float and so volatile. You can think it's the end, but then they put more gas in the car. The problem is, you get real confident as a buyer with it kicking out these technical plays, and then all of a sudden you get that crack down. Let me go see if this thing has any kind of shelf registrations on it as well. DPSI. No kind of shelf registrations. That's crazy. Cycled through his float 6 times now. Previous bottom, what, 864 was the top. Let's see. GD, how can one tell if a stock has cycled through its float? So when you go and look up the float here, like for DPSI, DPSI float. All you need to do is come out here and look at what the float is. Oh, actually, it hasn't even. I thought the float was 1 million. Wait, did I type that in right? DPSI? I must have been looking at Agri. So the float on this one is 6 million. So if we look at this float, which is 6 million, and I think I made a mistake. I was looking at Agri earlier. So it's cycled through its float once. And what we mean by the cycle is whatever its float is, if it's 10 million, it needs to get 10 million shares traded on it. If it's 20 million shares traded, it needs to get 20 million shares traded for one cycle. So that's what we mean by float. And what we mean by over trading or over traded ticker is when it goes through multiple cycles in one direction. So let's say if it's going up and it goes from 6 million here to 12 million. Well, it cycled its float twice going towards one direction, right? So we're looking and observing for a proper pullback for all of that liquidity to all of those imbalances to get balanced. Like at this point right now, it's only went through its float once. I thought it was 1 million in the float for some reason, but it's 6 million. So whatever, it's going up. But of course, that's why we also use our other charts over here. Where'd it go? That's why we use our other charts over here to look at the daily and all of this, because look at how trashy this looks. Look at this trading it's doing. It's done a move like this before and given everything back in the same day. Look at that. Same day, just crucifixion. Same day or maybe 1 or 2 days all the way back down to the level it started at. So that's just not what we want to see. And then look, it's right here at the 1171 at the top of this candle, breaking out just a little bit, but it can give everything back in 1 or 2 days. This whole thing can be back to $6. So yeah, definitely one of those plays you just gotta take profit where you can and hope that it doesn't take the dive on you. It doesn't have any shelf registrations though, so that's a good thing. But yeah, that play right there is just so unpredictable. Maybe that will be a play that you would have to go down to a lower time frame to really take quick profits. Maybe like the 2 minute or the 3 minute or the 1 minute. But then in there, you can get messed up as well because you have a whole lot more information to take in and look at. You got 5 minutes. Well, that's 5 1-minute candles you have to observe. And then you have to see, okay, well, what is the real support on a 1 minute time frame? How can you validate that is 1 minute support? Well, the only way, you got to be looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15. You got to be looking at all of them at the same time. So it's a lot more information to make these plays. But this bad boy definitely blew the backs out of some shorts today. But I'm okay. I'm sitting on the sidelines on this one. That went into that dip, but it did not have enough trading down here. This little low volume trading, I was not about to take that chance, especially on the news that it had. The news isn't great. Like, it'd be a different thing if it came down here and there was like 1 million shares traded and holding in this area. Like, that would have been okay, you know. DPS is for retards. Experienced trader will not risk his money in this super volatile trade, not even $1. Yeah, it was a crazy one. BWV, PPSI, still making little moves. But yeah, I just like seeing those for my experience as well as looking at all of these, looking at all the charts and seeing why I wouldn't take the trade. You know what I'm saying? Like what variables are keeping me out of this trade? One was this daily chart over here. This mess of a daily chart. Two was the catalyst. The catalyst, it just said, oh, it's up on, it got some a little bit of news or something. And I was looking through the news and I'm like, nothing out here is warranting this type of move from this ticker. So I'm like, you know what? I let them have it, you know? Let them have that one. Too many variables against me. Yeah, I don't want to get into a super losing position. That's why I'm looking for obvious things in DPSI. You know, if you've seen what I look for as obvious, you know that it never did do that. It literally made a high of day, and then on this little test, it had a little bit of a little upstart, but very low volume in here, and then all of a sudden to the moon. So I'm like, I'm not playing with that. Not playing with that at all. But if you did take that trade and you looked up and made money on it, congratulations. Even if you took one share, congratulations. But yeah, that's just not a play for me. Ted says be careful. BBIG shares will most likely go down starting tomorrow because they will distribute cryptized shares to BBIG stock owners tomorrow, and the value of BBIG will go down by that amount. And then Daniel B says, who is trading on headlines and morning news? Usually he is already one day late compared to pros. Yeah. The SPY is now at 400, right at 412 cents away from this breakdown. Oil is still at 109, so neither one of them are finding any correlation yet. But it'll probably be coming in the next couple of days. BWV slipping down under the $5, 498s. It's green on the day for now, but it's trying to pull a green to red move. PPSI just not the type of movement that I like to see. Finally getting a top up here on DPSI, $12. So it's just messed up the whole day. I mean, the chances, if it comes down, the chance of it getting back up to $12 after giving back like $4 in profit is very unlikely. Let's see what we got. Yep, look at this daily chart over here. Already given. Wait, let me zoom in. Look at this. Already starting to give back. Came out here to 12.19 and look at it. Already back under the previous body of that previous candle, 10.79. So, I mean, I guess this would be a nice short play for some shorts, but not looking great. It's halted going down now. I just saw it going to a halt here. Not looking great at all there. PPSI. Everything else that we're watching has gone red on the day. So not looking great. Ted says one can tell if a stock has cycled through its float by using Ortex software. If use share percentage is 100%, float has been all used. Yeah, I mean, or you can just look at the volume. That's how I do it. I just look at the volume and say, okay, what is the float? Let's say if the float is 1 million, but I see on the volume we're at 33 million. I know that the float has been gone through multiple times. So I guess you can use software. But I guess maybe if you were using the software to see what shares are actually being, where's the imbalance? Is the imbalance to the long or the short side? And then what shares are actually being released into circulation and what shares are being, because I mean, just because it has 6 million shares in the float, there could be some holders in there that are just holding it. And those shares just won't get traded. So that actually reduces the float. If you have those holders in there, you got a million holders holding, and then all of a sudden they're dumping on you, like on DPSI, you got people down here that started from nothing at $3, and they just holding. So that reduces the overall what's in circulation to be traded. AGRI doing things. Came down to that 275. 275 was what I was looking to crack down on. Pick. Let's see. Yes, Daniel B. Daniel B is exactly right. Wait, let me see. Read. Enter to the trade in quiet time and exit when mania is at the climax. And then Daniel B says, Ted G, take the current trading volume and divide with the floats, the shares float. Then he says it's not rocket science. One Life says, come on now, people. This stock went from doing nothing with no volume. Then Ted says Ortex also shows you number of borrowed shares and how much price how much the price of the borrowing shares has increased. And then One Life says we see this all the time. Exactly. See it all the time. There's also another site that I use for free called the Short Squeeze, where I come out here sometimes and look at this. But I mean, for the most part, like it's sometimes give you, but there is a paid version to this. I just don't pay for it. So let's see. It hasn't even updated on this yet. But yeah, just wasn't the best trading analysis to get into today. But it was a big mover. PPSI jumping out from the 370s to the 375. Those moves are way too small. BWV waking back up to the fives, getting poppy there, losing volume as well. Previous candle had only 82,000 shares on it. Let's see. Ted G says it also tells you the percentage of shorts. Obviously, it'll run through the float. Nobody is going to hold this thing more than a few minutes. Exactly. So people, after that thing starts going up, people that are bag holding will be quick to sell something. Especially, let's see, how long would they be bag holding down here in this previous, let's see, 11s, and it's a very poppy stock too, so it's very hard. So on a day like this with all that volume, it would be a perfect day to sell on somebody. Daniel B says, Ted G, you can have all the numbers in the world and you will still not gonna get it. There is always human factor in each trade. Exactly, that sentiment, human sentiment, the fear of missing out, and then also on the flip side for bag holders, the fear of not being able to recover some of those gains. So it works both ways. People are like, oh my gosh, it's going up. And then you got other people who are like, oh my gosh, I'm finally getting my money back. So, whichever side of the coin that you're on, that's what we talk about, those imbalances. SPY floating around that 400 level. 9 EMA all the way up here at the 403s. So looking like it's going to be going down for a little bit. Let me jump back over here. Let's see, everything pretty much red. Coinbase is up to 69, but I think it's going to be going down. Oh, limited, shortable. Oh, that's one thing that Street Smart Edge does have though. Out here on the you can actually see the imbalances out here. Where is it? Imbalance information. So they got the open imbalance, they got the open far, they got the open near, open reference, open paired, closing imbalance, closing far, closing near, closing reference. All those imbalances you can put out there on your watch list as well to see those numbers. But I mean, for the most part, if you know what you're looking for, I mean, that thing never did give me the setup that I was looking for. So, you know, there it just wasn't playable. BWV just played with people's emotions, coming up here to the 513 and cracking out, just going right back down to the $5. AGRI finally coming on down. I'm waiting for that thing to crack on down back under the 250s. Looking for a nice little dip area in this 250 level that we were watching yesterday. But let's see. Yeah. Previous level that it does not need to break down is the 230s. And then the 250 was the point where I wanted to see it below. So from 250 to 230, if it goes below 230, it's done. This will be the buying area for me. And then the next little trend out here was right at the $2 still. So just not good there, especially being red on the day. DPSI has still not opened up. I don't know if this thing has gone longer than the regular time or what. DPSI halted, so it's been 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It still has not unhalted. Okay, so AGRI PIK just did not give us the moves that we were looking for. Not getting back up green on the day. PIK may come back green on the day, but it's got this little flat top, but it's gonna have to hold above this 232, and it's with the volume leaving out like this. It had 1 million shares, 2 million shares trading, and it's all the way down to like just barely 100,000. It's questionable, especially with all of this resistance up here from the 230s up to the 260s. 30 cents of resistance. Right there, that big old box of resistance. Open back up, DPSI. Very, very crazy stock. It opened up here at the $11, dropped down to the 10, and popped back up to the 11. I mean, think about that. If you are doing market orders and you accidentally press the buy button and it just dips real quick or it goes up real quick and you get a high feel, it's gonna take your life. It's gonna take your life. BWV holding around that $5, but I'm just not trusting that out here on hump day. Oh, also Wednesdays, my statistics, I don't know what it is about Wednesdays, but I was looking back at my trades, and Wednesdays, hump days, are the days that I usually break rules. So hump day is usually a time that I trade something that I shouldn't be trading, because maybe it's the only thing moving or something else where I break a rule and I don't follow my rules. But I did that analysis and I was like, let me be very careful on Wednesdays. Wednesdays will, you know, not, for some reason. Wednesdays are, I don't know, man. Something about that hump day that makes me wanna go wild. Mondays are better days for me. Monday is the best day. Tuesday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Fridays are the best days for me. But Wednesday, Thursdays are sometimes slow. They're good, but it just needs to be something with some catalyst on that day. All right. Let me see. Um, Ted says I don't understand what kind of comment DB is making. Pretty disrespectful. I don't even know what Daniel B is talking about. I guess he was making some kind of analogy? Hyperbole? I don't know. But yeah, so we've seen craziness in the market today. Let me look at the market watch and see if it's shifting any. Nope, still a bloody mess out here. Little spots of green, but not a whole lot. Ted says there is immense power, huge power in statistical numbers and taking positions in stocks and options. I made tons using it, and I don't invest without it. Yeah, there's definitely, when you get your variables in a row, your ducks lined up, and you kind of know what you're looking for, whether in statistics or, I mean, they're just variables. Some people like Daniel B, he says he doesn't use anything. He just trades the what's on the charts. And some people are good at that. But some people need more variables in the real world to have a edge. So the stronger edge that you have, the more accurate you can be. Or would it be accurate or precise? It'll be accurate. Yeah, I think. I don't want to do no buying no followers, bro. Get out my chat. See DPSI jumping up there again. 12 bucks. So it moved from the $6 up to the $12. So a little $6 move on very weak news. Never did provide me with my setup though. 1262, that's a new high. So Yeah, just not looking good. PIK took a little bit of a dip off, going towards that $2 down there. Not looking great either. BWV just holding around this $5 level. And yeah, I'm just not liking all this dead volume around here. Oil breaking down the 108s. Ted says, but the most important is volume and momentum. No one can fight the trend. Yeah. The trend can be your friend. It can be your friend if you allow it to. But it can punch you in the mouth if you don't. SQ, Rivian, Deacon, plug. Okay. So yeah, today is a nice little seller's day. And we took notes. It's almost 10 o'clock. DPSI still struggling over here on the daily chart. Trying to get back up there to that 1181. But I think it's going to find even more resistance up there again. It got up to those 12s, and that 1181 just is not going to hold for it today. But anyway, for this session, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to shut it down. I'm not about to sit around and watch the markets die. I want to come in. I want to find something obvious. I want to get in, want to get out, or either get in and hold something that's obvious to make some money. But today, those opportunities just were not there. If you're going to trade DPSI on a dip, be very, very careful, because it has that history of giving back. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to shut it down so I can get to some other work and actually make some money doing something else. I will be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Central Time. If you're in the Discord, you'll get a notification anyway. In the Discord, it'll say, "Hey, live streaming now" or whatever. But yeah, that is it for me today. I'm still holding my LTBR trade, my little uranium trade. Only got 30 shares playing around there. It came up a little bit, but of course, with the whole market being red, I wasn't expecting to see much of it today. Still playing in this uptrend off of the 464. And my entry is right here at the 720, so it's $1 away from my entry, and I'm looking for it to come back down and make a higher low to try to add, but not yet. I'll be patient on that one, and I'll also be watching oil and INDO for the next dip, and to see where let's see where INDO is before I go off. INDO came down here to this $16 as oil comes down as well. So yeah, if it can break back down that 1476 was my first entry. And if it can break that down again, I'll give it another try if it comes down to like 1380s. That'll be nice. But yeah, that's it for me today. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all of your chats, comments, and the knowledge that you've dropped. And as always, I will see you in. Actually, before I do that, make sure you check out frameworkfortune.com. You can get the Discord link and get into our Discord. We talk about everything investment and entrepreneurship. Of course, Ben has been out of the streaming game for a while because of his internet. So he's been pumping out recorded content and things like that. So just come in, be a part. You can share your ideas. We post all kinds of articles that we find from all over sources. Just come be a part of the community, get to hang out, and yeah. Now I'm done. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.